Did you know thousands of families are torn apart each year, not by tragedy but by the very system meant to protect them? Family courts and child welfare agencies are supposed to be a safety net, but for many they become a trap that's almost impossible to escape. Instead of offering support, the system can sometimes create more pain, confusion, and heartbreak. We want to believe the legal system is fair, that justice is blind, and that every family gets a chance to be heard, but sometimes it gets it catastrophically wrong. Mistakes and misjudgments can have devastating consequences. False accusations and bureaucratic errors can turn innocent parents' lives into nightmares. Even a single misunderstanding can spiral out of control, leading to months or even years of turmoil. These aren't just statistics, these are real families shattered in an instant. Children are separated from parents, siblings are split apart, and bonds that took years to build are broken in a moment. The emotional damage can last a lifetime, long after the legal battles end. The scars left behind can affect children's futures, relationships, and sense of security. A significant percentage of child welfare investigations are based on unsubstantiated claims. Many cases are opened on the basis of anonymous tips or misunderstandings, not hard evidence. Each investigation launches a family into fear and uncertainty. Parents are left wondering if they'll ever be able to bring their children home. Imagine being forced to prove your innocence to a system that's already decided you're guilty. The burden is overwhelming, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The presumption of innocence often disappears when social services get involved. Families are treated with suspicion, not compassion. The system is overburdened, underfunded, and prone to confirmation bias. Caseworkers are stretched thin, making it easy for mistakes to slip through the cracks. Children are removed from loving homes, parents are left broken, and the emotional toll is immeasurable. The trauma can echo for generations. We must ask, how can we let this happen in our communities? Why aren't we demanding better safeguards and more accountability? The time has come to raise our voices, support families in crisis, and push for real change. Together, we can work to stop these injustices and help families heal. Meet the Burke family, Tom, Sarah, and their two kids, Emily and Jacob. They were the picture of a happy, all-American family. Their world changed overnight after a simple accident. Emily fell off the monkey bars and broke her arm. At the hospital, a doctor's suspicion led to a call to Child Protective Services. Suddenly, Tom and Sarah were seen as potential abusers. The accusation was baseless, but the system moved fast. Their explanations fell on deaf ears. Investigators seemed to have already made up their minds. The Burke's home became a place of fear and sorrow. Strangers dictated when they could see their own children. The simple joys of family life vanished. Tom and Sarah were thrust into a legal maze they didn't understand. Ordinary people caught in an extraordinary nightmare. Their all-American dream had become a living nightmare. The system meant to protect children is supposed to be a safety net, a place where families in crisis can find support and understanding. But for the Burkes, it became something very different, an unexpected source of pain and fear. Instead of receiving help, the Burkes found themselves at the center of a nightmare. Their every action questioned and their intentions doubted. Rather than being met with compassion, they faced suspicion and humiliation from those who were supposed to help. Forced into parenting classes and subjected to psychological evaluations, their confidence as parents was slowly eroded. Each appointment felt like another reminder that they were seen as failures, not as people in need of support. The most devastating blow came when Jacob and Emily were removed from their home and placed in foster care. The siblings were separated from each other and from their parents, left to navigate a confusing world alone. Supervised visits were brief, tense, and agonizing. Every word, every gesture was watched and judged, making it nearly impossible to connect as a family. The legal process was a confusing labyrinth, filled with endless paperwork and intimidating courtrooms. The Burkes felt powerless, their voices dismissed and their character constantly under attack. Financial strain mounted as they drained their savings, borrowed from friends and family, and struggled to pay mounting legal fees just to keep fighting for their children. The relentless stress took a toll on their health and marriage. Sleepless nights, constant worry, and growing resentment threatened to tear them apart. It became clear that the system wasn't just failing them, it was actively working against them, making every step forward feel impossible. The Burkes were reduced to a case number, their unique story lost in a sea of paperwork and bureaucracy. The pain was profound, a deep sense of betrayal by the very system they had trusted to help them in their darkest hour. Their story stands as a warning. When the system loses sight of compassion and justice, it is families who pay the highest price. For the Burkes, the help they desperately needed was twisted into harm, leaving scars that may never fully heal. Just as hope was fading for the Burkes, a champion emerged, Eleanor Vance. She was not the kind of person who sought the spotlight, but when injustice called, she always answered. A semi-retired social worker, Eleanor had spent decades witnessing families torn apart by a system that too often failed those it was meant to protect. She had seen heartbreak, but also resilience. Refusing to stand by, she started a small advocacy group for wrongly accused families, gathering others who shared her vision for change. When Eleanor heard about the Burkes' ordeal, she felt a familiar fire ignite within her. She knew she had to help, no matter how difficult the road ahead. Eleanor was tenacious, sharp, and deeply committed to justice. She was known for her unwavering resolve and her ability to see hope where others saw only obstacles. She listened to Tom and Sarah with empathy, not suspicion. She asked questions but never judged, making them feel safe for the first time in months. For the first time, the Burkes felt truly heard and believed. Eleanor's presence was a lifeline, restoring a sense of dignity and hope. Eleanor made no false promises, but she gave them hope. She was honest about the challenges, but her confidence was contagious. "We'll fight this with the truth," she told them, her voice steady and reassuring. She made them believe that justice was possible. She saw their case as a cause, not just a case file. To Eleanor, every family mattered, and every injustice was personal. Eleanor's motivation was simple. She believed the best protection for children is often a loving family, not a broken system. The Burke case reignited her passion for reform, reminding her why she had never truly retired. She became the ally the Burkes desperately needed, standing by their side when others had turned away. Eleanor was ready to fight for them and for justice. For her, this was more than a case. It was a mission to right a wrong, and she would not quit. Eleanor's approach was relentless and methodical. She dissected every document in the Burke case, searching for inconsistencies and errors. She interviewed teachers, staff, and children who witnessed Emily's fall. Every account matched the Burke's story. Independent medical experts confirmed the injury was consistent with a playground accident. Eleanor built a fortress of evidence, brick by brick. She filed motions, wrote letters, and became a constant presence the bureaucracy couldn't ignore. When calls went unanswered, she showed up in person. She coached Tom and Sarah on how to advocate for themselves in court. Eleanor was more than an advocate, she was their strength. Her determination was contagious, helping the Burkes find their own resolve. They were no longer just victims. They became active participants in their fight. Eleanor's fight became their fight. Together, they pushed forward for the truth. Every battle has a turning point. For the Burkes, it came during a pre-trial hearing. The state's case relied on the ER doctor's suspicion of abuse. Eleanor, armed with evidence, cross-examined him calmly. She presented affidavits from teachers and reports from pediatric specialists, all supporting the Burkes. The doctor faltered when shown the school's incident report, which he'd never seen. He admitted his judgment was made without all the facts. Under pressure, he conceded the injury could have been accidental. The foundation of the state's case crumbled. The judge ordered a review of all evidence. For the first time, hope returned to the Burkes. The wall of lies had cracked, and light was shining through. The Burkes lived on an emotional roller coaster. Disbelief and confusion gave way to pain and emptiness. The separation from their children was a constant ache. Sarah wept in empty bedrooms. Tom tried to numb the pain with work. Fear and anxiety became their daily reality. Friends and neighbors distanced themselves, deepening their isolation. Hopelessness crept in, but Eleanor's arrival brought cautious hope. Every court date was a mix of optimism and terror. The emotional whiplash was exhausting. Even as things improved, anger and frustration lingered. But their love for their children anchored them. Their bond as a couple was tested but ultimately strengthened. They clung to hope, dreaming of the day their family would be whole again. The final court date felt like the culmination of a lifetime. Tom and Sarah sat together, hands locked, Eleanor by their side. The judge acknowledged the mountain of evidence and the system's failure. Then came the words they'd prayed for. Case dismissed. All accusations unfounded. Immediate reunification ordered. Relief and joy overwhelmed the family. The nightmare was finally over. Their reunion with Jacob and Emily was pure joy. No more sterile visitation rooms, just family. Healing would take time, but in that moment nothing else mattered. They were together again. Their victory was more than personal. It was a beacon of hope for others. The Burke case proved wrongful accusations can be overturned. It sent a message. The system is not infallible, and innocent families deserve to be heard. For the Burkes, it was vindication. For others, it was inspiration. Justice, though delayed, was not denied. The Burkes' story didn't end in the courtroom. Their ordeal inspired them to fight for change. Working with Eleanor, they became advocates for reform. They shared their story, putting a human face on the consequences of a flawed system. Their advocacy led to new protocols, better training, and a parent's Bill of Rights. They helped create an independent review process for wrongful accusations. Their victory inspired other families and advocacy groups. The Burkes' legacy is one of hope, resilience, and real change. Their suffering paved the way for a better future for families everywhere. To hear more stories of hope, subscribe to the channel.